This is a spicy one. We could have probably done a whole episode on it, but that's not the type of episode we did.
Beautiful. We do.
Shorter tales. So let's get into David Huggins. David Huggins claims to have been abducted multiple times by ETs in his life, each encounter becoming more fantastical and bewildering than the last. He is an artist and loves to paint these encounters that he has had with these aliens. His story begins in the summer of 1952 when he was only 8 years old. It's young to start.
8 years old.
8 years old, and it goes for a while. Sounds like we just made a cut right there, but in reality, we just both stuttered. 8 years old. Yeah, we're just getting back into it. No. We just I paused for a second. David, summer of 1951, on his family's farm. Okay. David was playing at the base of a tree on a farm when he heard some voice in his head say, "David, behind you."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, keep that in mind. When
he turned around, he saw this little hairy guy with glowing yellow eyes coming straight towards him. You can do the slides, by the way.
Oh,
the first slide.
Oh, all right, hold on. Sorry, I'm going to get prepared for this.
That's fine. This is the little hairy guy that you're going to see.
All right.
He says that for a second, he felt as though he was looking at himself through this entity's eyes.
Okay.
Looking back at himself. Then he freaked out and started running towards the barn. When he looked back, he saw the little hairy guy turning around and going back into the woods. That was his first encounter that started this off. Now,
it kind of looks like a Squatch.
It does, but there's also tales of little hairy aliens. We'll get into it in different episodes, but little hairy aliens that basically all they have is yellow glowing eyes and it's all hair. It's like Cousin It from Addams Family.
Okay, yeah.
With yellow eyes and a glowing bush. It is the bushiest.
I'm glad you caught that.
I did.
Good.
But I can't just react immediately. I wanted to finish the thought.
I know. I appreciate it. Thank you for circling back.
But this is one of many aliens that he encounters, and we'll get into it.
Cool. He's a good artist.
Yes.
I'm happy.
He really is.
I'm happy that now we can... I'm happy he's a good artist, so we can actually see things that good. Second off, did you bring Teenage Squatch?
I forgot him again.
All right.
I did. Yeah. Yep, I did. He's sitting at home on my couch with my Penn State hat backwards.
Nice.
There was a joke with Janet, and it kind of just stayed there. And now I keep forgetting to bring him.
Hey, he can stay there.
Little Squatch, we got you a buddy, but I've kidnapped him for 2 weeks. Sorry.
Little Squatch looks like he's about to start an OnlyFans.
He knew the story that was coming up, so he's like, I'm getting myself ready.
Please continue.
His next encounter happened. It didn't really give a timeline. It just said encounter 1. That was that one. This one was encounter 6, but they didn't give a timeline.
Okay.
Still when he was a kid, though. David was playing. I said all of that, as you would say. His next encounter happened when he went out to the barn one day and heard a noise on the other side of the barn. So, as any kid would, he lost his spot. No, he went to take a look and saw this giant insect-like being. He said it looked like a praying mantis. Next slide, Lennon. Standing there.
Jesus.
He started screaming. Sorry, that just came out. He started screaming, and the insect sprayed him with some sort of bluish-gray liquid. He then ran away from the barn, and the bluish-gray liquid evaporated pretty quickly, he said. And that was the first account with Mr. Praying Mantis. He's not a reptilian, but he's literally like a praying mantis.
Yes, I'm a fan of this depiction of his, of the arms outstretched of him as if he was going to either bear hug or that's how he screams. Ah!
I can actually look at it too. I forgot I can just swipe back and forth. Cool. Yeah.
That's pretty wild, though. It legitimately is a giant praying mantis.
It really is.
Which leads credence to the theory that praying mantises are actually aliens from another planet.
Could it be?
Maybe.
I'm not saying aliens, but aliens. So on another day, he was getting ready to go over to his friend's house. He was walking behind the said barn when he got the feeling that he was being watched. But he didn't see anything. I couldn't find this picture, but basically it showed a picture of something poking its head above a bush.
Okay.
Just trying to give you a visual.
What kind of something was it? Was it like a normal looking?
Oh, Just listen.
All right.
Then he hears a sound and looks over and he sees a head poking out from behind a bush, as I stated.
Yes.
He then saw a bright light and he sort of fainted. He fell to the ground and curled up. I'll say it in a second. He fell to the ground. Where the hell did I go? And curled up into a ball.
Mm-hmm.
There were then several little gray aliens standing over him while he was on the ground. You can go to the next slide. He then hears 3 beeps and is suddenly standing chest deep in some weeds. He wasn't sure how he got there. The picture Lennon obviously is looking at, and the video is looking at, is the one of him laying on the ground after this white light. Him in a ball and about, I would say, 8 aliens. I think he said 8 or 9 aliens.
7
in the picture, yes. I think he said in the document 8 or 9 aliens.
Oh, okay.
Surrounded him. And there's your standard gray aliens with blue suits.
I was going to say, this is different. They actually have jumpsuits on this time.
Yep. And they're just, they kind of look like they're checking on him.
Yeah, it does look like a checkup
malice,
scenario.
Yeah, nothing malicious or anything like that. A couple years later, he was looking in a field for arrowheads, or he was looking for arrowheads in a field is what I meant to say.
In my head, I'm giving little commentary to what they're saying. Because the one sticking its arm out like this, he's like, Jim, just hold the fuck on. You don't know if you're going to get something from him. Don't touch it.
The other one looks like
he's like
shocked, like, whoa.
Don't touch him.
We don't know where he's been.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I like it. He was walking behind the infamous barn when he got the feeling that he was being... What? Did I just read that? I did.
It's okay.
A couple years later, he was looking for arrowheads in a field.
Yeah.
He glanced up to see 8 or 9 little gray aliens in odd blue outfits. Mm-hmm. He referred to them as the gray guys or the blue guys.
Spud, Judd, Fud, Dud, Clud, Mud,
All
Rud.
It was the whole family before just Spud, Judd, and Fud.
Sorry, side question here. Do we know where this all takes place?
Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
I might not have actually said that.
Okay, so it's in Georgia.
I cut that line in the intro.
Gotcha.
It was in Georgia. This was in Georgia.
Thank you.
I can't remember what his hometown was, but regardless,
it's all good.
It was Georgia. This incident.
And how long ago was this?
1950s.
Okay.
So he was 8. It was 1951. This was a couple years later, so it was like probably 1954 right now. I think.
Roger
it was.
that.
Trying to remember from the doc.
Got it.
So like I said, he referred to them as blue guys or alien guys or gray guys.
Yep.
I'm just gonna call them grays from here on out. Though.
Sounds good.
So they were dropping from the sky and hitting the ground, running straight towards him. And in my head, you can go to the next slide. In my head, all I'm picturing is, remember Tim Allen's movie, The Santa Claus, with the elves when they're going to save Charlie running down. You get that scene in your head? That's what I'm picturing.
In my head, I just pictured them like, do you remember the new Suicide Squad when Weasel was falling into the...
Yes.
They splat and then they get up and run.
When I saw the picture here, the painting he did, all I could think of was...
It does look like it. Yeah.
Those
the elves.
The elves in the Santa Claus.
No, I see
thought it was great.
It's beautiful. It's a hell of a visual.
He said they hit the ground and they were running straight towards him, so they must have just been like running in midair. And
that's awesome.
Sorry, side cam. I kind of hit you.
That's great.
So he ran back towards the house when this happened, as I'm sure you would too. I would.
Yep.
And when on the other side, he looked underneath the house. His house was one of them that had like pillars.
Yeah.
So you could see under the house. You could see to the other side.
Yep.
So this allowed him to see to the other side, like I said. And he saw their legs underneath the house. And then they kind of just turned around, walked away, and left. So why?
Yeah.
What was the point in them
purpose?
Like Santa Clausing it down to run after him and then be like, he ran behind the house. That's it. What can we do? It's
SEAL Team 6 of the Greys. And they fucking failed.
We didn't get him. Jim, Bob, he's on the fucking other side of the house. No. Time to go. All right, you're the leader.
They get back to their commanding officer. And like, he used some incredible evasive maneuvers. Yeah. We could not keep up.
Fudd, we're looking down at the house right now. He's standing literally right there.
We can see him.
Doc. That's now the new commander. Doc.
It's not the medical officer.
No. It's very confusing in the alien world. Doc.
And Chief is the doctor.
I don't know what you want us to do. There's a house in front of us. We can't go around it. We're coming home.
We'll get him next time, boys.
Good job. Nice work, though. Scared the shit out of him. You see his face? He looked like a little bitch.
He'll be back.
It's where he lives.
He'll be back.
No other choice. So that night of this incident, he was looking out the window and he saw several little grays.
Yep.
They then came into his room and took him outside. Could you then just switch to the next slide, please?
Okay.
Do you see him? It should be two pictures.
The back. Yep.
Yep. So the first one on the left shows him, well, when he looked outside, there were just 8 or 9 standing there. In this picture, there's 7, so we're going to go with 7. Mm-hmm. And then if you look to the right, they're coming in his room. Now, the discrepancy between these two just kind of kills me. So one of them, he's sitting up in bed looking, and the alien is in the doorway to his bedroom.
Entering. Yep.
That is apparently... He has a door outside his bedroom.
I was about to say, it's nice that he has an outward-facing door to his bedroom.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, so I'm really looking at it right here.
It's quick escape.
And the other one is now he's laying in bed like he's sleeping with the alien
they saw me.
surrounding him. And the funnier thing is the gray in the door on the second one on the right.
He's so fucking small.
It's just chest high.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, actually, you did say his house sat upright.
You're right. It's on pillars.
Elevated.
You caught it. You got it. I forgot it. So, back to it, boys. I lost my spot. Sorry.
I thought you were about to sneeze. He's like,
I got to highlight when I go over to the fucking pictures.
all good.
All right, they floated up. Okay, they then came into the... that's going to be him later. They then came into his room and took him outside. You can go to the next slide, Leonard.
All right.
They floated up to some sort of UFO craft.
The one is Superman. He's like, I've waited all my life for this.
Yeah.